My God, I hate trucks.
The House of Representatives approves on second reading Speaker Gloria Arroyo's draft federal constitution. A shift to federal form of government is President Duterte's campaign promise. The measure was passed through viva voce or voice voting. Arroyo has conceded that Congress cannot pass charter change under her watch, but she says the lawmakers will bring it as far as they can, hoping the next Congress will be able to pass it. The 17th Congress ends session in 2019. Arroyo's draft was controversial for a number of reasons. These include the removal of term limits for members of Congress and the lack of an anti-political dynasty provision. It earlier removed the vice president in the succession line for the transition to a federal government, but was later restored after some backlash. Senators, meanwhile, say there is no more time to tackle charter change because of the deliberations for the 2019 proposed budget, which they target to pass before the year ends. A survivor of the Sagay massacre files charges against his father and the police. This for compelling the survivor, a minor named Lester, to be a witness in the killings. In October, 9 sugarcane farmers were killed in Negros Occidental. Lester is under his mother's guidance. They filed charges against Lester's father for violating the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act. They also accuse the police of violation of Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation and Discrimination Act and Rule on Examination of Child Witness.
Nagpapatuloy yung pananakot niya sa kliyente namin, sa kanilang mag-ina. At pinipilit niyang makuha yung anak, mabawi yung anak. Tinakot din niya na kakasuhan din niya pati yung nanay ni Lester. Noong kinuna nila ng salaysay at binuo yung salaysay ng bata, wala itong kasamang taong pinagkakatiwalaan niya. So under kasi ng 7610 at saka ng Rule on Handling Child Witness, hindi dapat kinakausap ang bata nang wala sa tabi niya o walang sumusuporta sa kanya na taong pinagkakatiwalaan niya.
The police have earlier filed murder charges against suspects behind the massacre. They claim all their witnesses, including Lester, voluntarily signed their affidavits. Stories now from the regions. The victims of a strong earthquake last year in Leyte finally get new houses. The National Housing Authority awarded more than 100 housing units to the first batch of beneficiaries. They are residents of 2 villages in Cananga who were displaced after a 6.5 quake rocked the province in July 2017. The beneficiaries will occupy the units by February next year, once the utilities are completed. In Cebu City, Mayor Tomas Osmeña makes good on his promise to build the city's first skate park. The mayor led the groundbreaking ceremony this morning. Her sister Minnie donated 5 million pesos for the project. Asian Games gold medalist and skater Marjeline Didal, who hails from Cebu, as well as presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo, attended the ceremony. Enthusiasts had called on the city government to build a skating park. Osmeña heeded the call after Didal won the gold at the Asian Games in Indonesia in August. And Tangub City in Misamis Occidental is once again filled with stunning lights and replicas of world-renowned structures as it opens this year's Christmas Symbols Capital Festival. The display showcased an array of 60 landmarks from around the world and more than 15 giant arches in the villages. The replicas include Dubai's Art Park, London's Big Ben, among others. Better be safe than sorry. Authorities making sure all is safe in a security simulation at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. They say this is part of testing their preparedness to secure the country's main gateway. Our George Cahiles has that story.
An explosion at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 3. That's the scenario during the security simulation on Tuesday, a test of existing security protocols.
Emergency plan number 8.
Right after the simulated explosion, airport personnel immediately cordoned off the area until the bomb technician arrived to carry out initial tests. A triage, or an area where victims who need medical attention are temporarily stationed, was also established in a nearby site. The K9 units paneled the area to double-check ground zero, and upon checking, another bomb was detected. Authorities immediately vacated the area and allowed a bomb technician to check the place before they defused the bomb. Once declared clear, tactical medical personnel entered the scene to rescue the victims, and then post-blast investigation took place. The entire simulation took an hour and a half. During emergency situations, that could be too long.
Well, of course, there will always be room for improvement. Sa time, probably, reaction, the communication itself. Kasi mas gusto natin yung parang spontaneous talaga eh. So probably we will be doing surprise drills. Doon natin nakikita talaga yung tamang reaction ng ating tao.
Authorities admit they still lack essential equipment, like robotic disruptors, to lessen human interaction with possible explosive devices. Despite this, authorities are confident they have the right training and skills to respond to various emergency scenarios. Airport security is much tighter, especially during the holiday season. Despite some delays and inconveniences, some travelers actually welcome the extra safety precautions.
Mas okay po para iwas danger ba, mga dangers. Baka may mga intruder tayo na hindi natin mga ICs, mga ganun. Nakakatakot po.
Dapat nga talaga yan, sina-check talaga nila yon kung sinong may passport talaga.
Wala tayong nare-receive ng mga threats, but just the same, tuloy-tuloy naman yung pakipag-ugnayan natin sa iba't ibang mga agencies and pati na rin sa intelligence community, hindi lamang ng PNP, kundi ng AFP.
Clearly, for authorities, it's better to be ready than sorry in case any untoward incident happens because of complacency. George Cahiles, CNN Philippines.
The Supreme Court submits 4 names to the Judicial and Bar Council, or JBC, for the Associate Justice post. Court of Appeals Justice Manuel Barrios tops the list with 7 votes. Court of Appeals Justices Ramon Bato, Ramon Garcia, and Court Administrator Maidas Marquez each got 6 votes. Supreme Court Associate Justice Noel Tiham will retire on January 19, 2019. The vote of the justices is purely recommendatory. It's still up to the JBC to come up with its short list from which the President will choose his next appointee. The House of Representatives approves on third and final reading a bill seeking to simplify the tax system for the financial sector. It is the 4th package of President Duterte's comprehensive tax reform program. House Bill 8645, or the proposed Passive Income and Financial Intermediary Act, seeks to make the tax system for the financial sector more fair, efficient, and competitive in the region. Key provisions include the yearly reduction in the final tax on stock transactions from 0.6% to 0.1%. More stories coming up. The UP Fighting Maroons gather for a moment of prayer ahead of Game 2 in the UAAP Men's Basketball Finals. Details next here on Newsnight. It's all eyes on the Araneta Coliseum again tomorrow for the UAAP Men's Basketball Finals. The Ateneo Blue Eagles and the UP Fighting Maroons are going head-to-head one more time in Game 2 of their best-of-3 series. Tip-off is at 3:30 in the afternoon. Ateneo is gunning for a sweep of the series after winning Game 1 last Saturday. But UP is hoping to force a do-or-die match for the championship. Earlier today, UP men's basketball team had a send-off mass at the Parish of the Holy Sacrifice inside UP Diliman. All team members gathered for a moment of prayer and silence as they asked for strength and guidance ahead of their crucial game.
We have to, play defense till the end, get stops, and just create plays and get shots.
Still the same basketball. We just have to go out there and get the first one and get ready for Saturday.
Who do you think will win Game 2 of the UAAP Men's Basketball Finals? Cast your vote on the Sports Desk Twitter and Facebook pages at SportsDeskPH.
Well, of course, there will always be room for improvement. Sa time, probably, reaction, the communication itself. Kasi mas gusto natin yung parang spontaneous talaga eh. So probably we will be doing surprise drills. Doon natin nakikita talaga yung tamang reaction ng ating tao.
Authorities admit they still lack essential equipment, like robotic disruptors, to lessen human interaction with possible explosive devices. Despite this, authorities are confident they have the right training and skills to respond to various emergency scenarios. Airport security is much tighter, especially during the holiday season. Despite some delays and inconveniences, some travelers actually welcome the extra safety precautions.
Mas okay po para iwas danger ba, mga dangers. Baka may mga intruder tayo na hindi natin mga ISIS, mga ganon. Nakakatakot po.
Dapat nga talaga yan, sinacheck talaga nila yon kung sinong may passport talaga.
Wala tayong nare-receive ng mga threats, but just the same, tuloy-tuloy naman yung pakipag-ugnayan natin sa iba't ibang mga agencies and pati na rin sa intelligence community, hindi lamang ng PNP, kundi ng AFP.
Clearly, for authorities, it's better to be ready than sorry in case any untoward incident happens because of complacency.